Yeah. hmm You know, um, there's what's known as the superego. Yeah. It's the part of the mind thought to enforce moral standards. Yeah. And this superego, yeah. It's possible that you might not have one of them. Oh. See, these superhumans that think they're divine or greater than normal, yeah. Oftentimes they don't have any moral standards, so they justify everything they do because they think they're superhuman. Mhm. And there's that superintendent. Now, I spent some time reading a whole lot of books from an author named Cam Potok. Yes. Had to do with Judaism and some of the minds of those that are Jewish. Yes. The author himself was Jewish. Poop. And in one of the books, My Name is Asher Lev, thank you for that memory. Yeah. There was this Jewish individual that had just an enormous intellect. Yes. hmm And he got to studying what is known as psychiatry, psychology. And in the human mind, the superego should be in control of enforcing what is known as moral standards. Yes. That part of the mind, that thought, to enforce moral standards. Now, we understand what the ego does. Some people have huge egos. Yes. They think they're divine, they're superhuman. Ouch! Now, let's say you're a giant. Mhm. In your mind, I'm superhuman. I can't just accept that normal is good enough, right? I have to be that superhuman being, yes, that is void of any superego because I do not have any moral standards. Whatever I do, it's because that's the way I'm going to do it. Now, let's say you had a real strong superego, and you thought, well, I'm not superhuman. Yes, I'm not a little leprechaun. I'm just a person. Yes, that happens to have an ego and a superego. Yeah. Now, the morality of violating the rights of American citizens. Well, Mr. Giant thinks that he's a superhuman being, but he has no moral standards. In his mind, whatever I do is just fine because I'm superhuman. The problem is when you consider the morality, yes, of committing any crime, there's always the moral quotient, yes, of the use of your authority to violate the laws of the United States. Now, we've already talked about the moral turpitude of fabricating evidence against innocent American citizens. Yes. And the moral turpitude of the fraudulent use of mental health evaluations. Then there's the moral turpitude of the Ichwood offense. Yes. hmm Let's say you decided to issue a protection order. Yes. Superhuman being. Yes. That doesn't have a super ego. Yes. And in your mind, I'm going to do everything the Mormon way because I'm superhuman and I do not have a super ego. Oh, there is no moral possibility that you could terminate the parenting rights of American citizens, yes, without having a court hearing. Now, for the superhuman being, Brent Basden, that thinks he's superior, yes. Anytime you issue a court order where it has the condition of that you will review if the respondent motions the court, yes, it does not negate the fact that you issued it for 10 years. See, you thought that me in my superego, not being superhuman, yes, that I would do what you say the superhuman being, yes, that doesn't have a superego. Now, you have to take in consideration that when you issued it for 10 years, what made you think, yes, that I would have a mental health evaluation and I would motion the court? And then when I documented that the petitioner didn't sign it, oh, what made you think that I agreed, yes, for you to issue it, knowing that the petitioner didn't sign it? Now, it does not take a superhuman being to understand the morality of the question. So you're void of a superego because of Well, it could be your sewing. Yes. It could be your religion or the products that you've been eating. It could be your personal lifestyle. Yes. Maybe you're in the come to find out family of the top secret Melchizedek order of those that come to find out. Ah, see, you have no morality when you think you're superhuman. There is no such thing as a superhuman being in the United States of America. Now, there's genetics. Yes. You could say that my kind has always been doing this for as long as you can remember. That ancient breed of merman and mermaid. Ew. But how many of them really originated from Atlantis? And are you actually the offspring of somebody that crawled up on the earth? Yes. Decided to screw a woman and gave birth to a half breed. Peep! Now you got to really, really carefully consider. Yes. If you are a human being, are you a superhuman being? Shouldn't be. We should not have any superhuman beings as citizens of the United States of America. They're all just human beings, aren't they? Now, this superego that you don't have, where you don't have any morality, you cannot blame me for issuing a court order. Yes. Well, you said that you'd review it if I motioned the court. Yes. When you issued it for dead fucking you!